Welcome to the Crypto on the Block radio show, featuring industry pioneers and CEOs across various industries in blockchain and cryptocurrency. Here's your host, Matthew Loughran.
Hello and welcome everybody back to another show of Crypto on the Block. Again, your host, Matthew Loughran. Today we have a great show for you. We have Rajesh Pavithran, founder of Boon Tech. Boon Tech is actually the world's first artificial intelligence-powered decentralized job marketplace leveraging blockchain. So Raj, pleasure to have you on the show today. Glad you can join us.
Thank you, Matthew. Thank you for inviting me to your show. I really appreciate it. And I love your show. And I think that you're providing a lot of value to your listeners. And thank you very much.
No, absolutely. Again, pleasure to have you on today. Just so we can get started here, I'd love to know, and the listeners, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about Boon Tech, just a little bit of your background. That'd be great.
Yeah, great. So I'm a software engineer. I'm an engineer, and I've worked in before finding my own company. I used to work for IBM and Oracle, and I quit the job, and then I started my own company. And then for a little bit of time, I worked as a freelancer. And after that, when I set up my company, I hired a lot of freelancers. So that is how I came into this market. And when the blockchain happened, I realized that there's a lot of gap in the present scenario in freelancing or gig economy. For example, our main two competitors are Fiverr and Upwork. They charge 20% of the service fee to the freelancers. So if you do a job of $1,000, Upwork keep $200, and that kind of adds up. So blockchain will allow us to eliminate that. That is one aspect of our platform. But the most important part of our platform is our intelligence into our rating and ranking system of the people or the users of our platform. And present scenario is there is no intelligence. You get 5-star rating for a $10 job or $1,000 job. And it's always sifting through all these freelancers. And it is so difficult to find the right skills when you are looking for a skilled person. So we solved that using AI. So that is one of there's nobody else in this world who does that. So we have a great ranking and rating system in our platform. So we solved that issue with IBM Watson. So we have an integration with IBM Watson. We are also partners with IBM. We are a business partner with IBM. Then another barrier in this field is the language barrier. For example, you are a native English speaker, but you want to hire somebody who's not really, his second language is English, but he's great skill. But then as an employer, you don't really want to interact with such person because you don't have that communication gap. So we use AI to solve the language translation. We have live language translation on our platform. So we use a couple of APIs. One is the IBM AI translator and Google translator. So depending on the language, some languages are better with some APIs, so we use that. And then in crypto space, we have a lot of issues with the volatility of the cryptos. For example, today Bitcoin is 8,000 and tomorrow it could be 10,000. So people who wants to work on a revenue, on a fixed revenue, have an issue. So we solved that. Something we kind of introduced. We have a patent pending. It's called hedging. We borrowed that term from the financial industry. So you hedge against the most stable currency in the world, which is USD. So we do that. So when somebody promise a job for, say, $10,000, and that person will get $10,000 at the end of the project at whatever time he takes to create. So he doesn't have to worry about the volatility in the crypto market. So basically, we try to cover all the aspects of this gig economy and make it so simple and make it so efficient, and which is advantageous for both parties. So as an employer, you get the right skilled person, and you reduce your spending habit. For the freelancer, they get all of the money that they are working for. So basically, that is our platform in a nutshell.
Quite interesting. So it sounds like you've really looked to tackle several different problems within your vertical, right? So one, right, I'm familiar with Upwork. I've hired people off Upwork before, so and I understand, for, I guess, connecting on the platform, right, they're taking 20% of the fee, whatever that is. Okay, so that's one big kind of problem that you guys are addressing.
Exactly.
The next is, you mentioned cryptocurrency. Can you maybe explain a little bit how that's actually involved on your platform?
Yeah,
so I wasn't exactly clear on that.
The hedging part, like solving the volatility in the crypto space, correct?
Yeah, so I understand. So maybe you can explain how is crypto involved with your platform? Just
okay, the token utility. So for example, I have to explain the revenue model in our platform to explain our token utility. We have two revenue models. One is we have a premium membership model. For example, we have membership for both employers and freelancers. The entry point is free for both of them. But if you're an employer, so you want special treatment, like you want help from our support system and things like that, you pay a little bit of money on a monthly basis. And as a freelancer, you have three packages. One is the free package, and the next one is they pay $30 a month, and they get more features like more bids. They can have more information on their portfolio, like put their profiles and things like that. They can get to follow so many employers. And there's like 10, 15 features we give them when they pay, and have a premium model, which is $100 a month. They get more bids and more features in those lines. So that is one revenue model. Another revenue model is exactly like Google AdWords. So if you search for something in Google, you can see that there are like top three paid ads that pops up. And companies pay for those spots in Google. So exactly like that, we have something like bid highlights, which means, let's say that you create a job for example, web design, and you get like 100 bids. And one of the freelancer, he pay a little bit of money to us, and then his bid will be on the top. So there are like three positions where we charge different amount for be on the top. So that is our token utility, and also you have to buy Boon tokens to hire somebody in our platform to pay for the service. So this Boon token is traded on the exchange. So when you buy Boon today, it could be one price, and after 2 weeks, it could be a different price. So what we do is once the token is in our platform, somebody deposit a token in our platform, we convert that into USD and keep it in our escrow. So at the point where your service is over, we convert the USD into Boon tokens again. This is all automatic. And at that time, whatever the price of the Boon token, you get that in the USD value. So it is, let's say that it's $1 today. Boon token is $1 today. And after 2 weeks, if the Boon goes to $2, you get that much amount in USD. So no one has any no guess game, So you will earn. Usually, the people are used to earn in USD, and they plan their business strategies on that value. So we respect that, and we use a couple of APIs. We use GDAX. We use Coinbase to make this happen. It's all automatic, so no one will even know it, So you just use it just like another platform, and it's done under the cover. And we file for a patent for it. No other project is doing this. I think all of the blockchain projects should be doing something like this, because everybody kind of assumes that the crypto price will go up all the time, So, but we are not.
You're taking a much more realistic look at a marketplace.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it is very important for the mass adoption of our platform, So you cannot always depend upon the crypto enthusiasts, but we need real customers and real companies to work on the platform. And as a business, you need to know how much money you will spend or make at the end of the month or end of the quarter, So it's really important as a business. So
I think you bring up a very good point there, right? So we're talking about platform adoption, right? So this is really how your organization is onboarding users onto your system as well. So you need to make sure that your system and platform fits in with the actual, daily activities
real world
of your users, right? In the real world use cases, right?
Scenario. Exactly.
Yeah. Not everyone's gonna want to, pay in crypto or get paid out in crypto, but it sounds like you even have the option where if they choose to, accept Boon tokens, they can ride some of that volatility to their favor as well.
That is true, but like I said before, to have a mass adoption of any crypto platform, you need to solve that issue of volatility. Otherwise, people hesitate to use a platform because they don't know whether they'll lose money or not. Who wants to lose money? I mean, you love crypto. I love crypto, and everybody in this space loves crypto. But when it hits your pocket, you don't love crypto that much,
When you wake up and it's not 20%, you're like, oh, okay.
Exactly. You don't do that day in and day out. So you need some kind of stability and some kind of planning. And as a business, I know that you run a business. So you need to know, right? I mean, how much money you make at the end of the day. You need to pay your bills. You have kids to take care of. That is important.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So So that
really
that
sounds like what you're doing here is pretty outstanding, right? So you're kind of reimagining the freelance market through an AI-based blockchain marketplace. Was really sounds like. And obviously, you have a layer of cryptocurrency in there as well. So I'd love to get your thoughts on, what do you think the impact of this will be on the freelance industry? Because the freelance industry it's massive. It's a massive industry, right? And you have more and more organizations, or very large organizations, like your Googles, like your, not even just tech companies, right? So Virgin Airlines, for example. Almost everybody from Virgin America that is not a customer-facing employee is a contractor. So maybe people don't understand that the freelance industry is even much broader than just your tech freelance. So I would love to kind of get your ideas on, how do you think your platform might have a broader impact on the freelance industry?
Okay, so this is my take. I honestly don't think that all these companies who are a freelance platform and charges fees have a prayer when it comes to competing with a company like us, basically because we actually give all the features in that platform, plus we don't have any service fee, and we give rewards for the people who actually uses our platform and the top earners and the spenders. So how do you compete with a company like that? You don't have any way to do it. The only option is to buy us out, but I'm not selling, but that's different in the sense that and you have a great point. This freelance industry is huge and massive. It's $1.4 trillion a year, and there are 53 million freelancers in U.S. And there was a study which said that by 2027, most of the employees will be freelancers, and the millennials are actually leading the way. 45% of the millennials are freelancers. So it's a huge industry. And not only that, this Fiverr and Upwork is a $1 billion company, both of them, each $1 billion each, okay? And that amount is not including of the repeat customers on their platform. For example, let's say that you hire me to do something, okay? And first time you hire me and you pay 20% top on what my fees is. And for the next job, I will tell you, Matthew, hey, why are we using Upwork? You know that I work well, I have the skills, and we have a trust. And why don't you pay me directly so that we can avoid this 20% fee? So my point is, the Upwork and the Fiverr, they have a revenue of more than $1 billion, but they don't have this repeat business once there's a trust established between the two parties on the platform. But in our case, that is not true. We give them incentive to use our platform. So I think we have a better potential than Upwork and Fiverr just because people use our platform repeatedly. It would be like Facebook, you go to Facebook for the kick, and you go to Twitter for data, or, if you're an influencer on Twitter, you make money. And that is the reason you reuse that platform. So there is an incentive for people to reuse Facebook and Twitter, and that is how they become so huge. But compared to Facebook, Upwork is not, basically because this component is lacking in Upwork or on Fiverr, because people don't use it once you have a trust between an employee and the employer and the freelancer. So in our case, we have that element going on for us. So to answer a question, we don't have any competitors, not even in the legacies field as well as in the blockchain field, because we don't compete on the middleman part. So every other company in the legacy is like acting as like a middleman. So we completely take that element out. And if you are a freelancer, actually you can use 2 or 3 platforms. Because there is enough space, you can get more work. You might not have enough work, or if you get more work, you hire more people as a company, and you grow. So there is a lot of space in the blockchain industry as well to coexist. But I don't think that on the legacy world, I don't think you will hear about Upwork in like 5 years.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. You made a couple of good points there, right? One is, with your platform, you're able to remove that middleman, right? So as a freelancer, that means I make more money, right? But I think you brought up a really good point in regard to the recurring business aspect of things, because you are right. Because when I've used Upwork to hire people, once we did have like a month or 2 of engagement, we took that out of that platform. And, because there was a trust level built, right? They did the same thing. They asked me, like, well, hey, you're paying Upwork 20% for no reason. I was like, great, not a problem. I'll pay you an extra 10%, and I'll keep an extra 10%, and we'll call it a day. So yeah, no, absolutely. There's definitely that. Once there is that know, like, and trust factor, right? In with those freelancers, then yes, you can actually establish that relationship outside of a third party platform like that. So I think you have a very good point in how your system eliminates that factor as well, especially if you have this AI driven piece, right, with the reviews and whatnot. And maybe you can talk a little bit more about the AI side of it, because I think it's really important. It's probably a real big differentiator from what's actually out there. So I'm very curious about how that actually works.
Okay, great. So let me first put you in context. For example, let's say you're using Upwork, and you want to, let's say you want to do an ICO, okay? Like ICO is the trend now. And you want to develop a smart contract. So you go hire a Solidity developer. So to write a smart contract, it's more expensive, right? Let's say that you pay $10,000 to write a smart contract. And he wrote the contract, and you're very happy. You give him what? You give him 5 stars, and you write a review. Right? Then for ICO side, you want to create a logo. It could be like $100 or $200, maximum like $500, right? Nobody charges more than that. And you are very happy with the logo, and you put 5 stars. And that's the maximum you can do. So another person who's trying to hire the same thing, same skill set, their scale or their only information they have is like 5 stars. That is it. And that is the case with all the legacy system now. The maximum you can get is a 5-star and a review. In our case, we use AI to do the ranking and the rating of freelancers on the platform. That is not just based on one comment from the employer. Okay, so in our case, we use IBM Watson's personality insights. What they do is they take like 21 human characteristics and rank according to the interactions, like, the professionalism, your skill level, how courteous you are, what is your response time, and there are like 21 like that. And on top of that, we add like 15 characteristics, which is pertaining to our platform. For example, how often you log in, how many bids you make, and how many if you win a project you take it, or if you're an employer, how many projects you're creating, and how many people you're hiring, and things. We have like 15 points. So we combine like this 21 plus 15, like 36 data points to review and rate somebody using our platform. And the score is between 1 to 100. So right off the bat, our rating system is like at least 20 times better than Fiverr or Upwork. So instead of, just think about it, instead of using like a 5-star rating, you have a score between 1 to 100. And that will give you a lot more leverage on choosing the right candidate. So for example, a logo guy will never get that high rating compared to somebody who has done a $10,000 project, which means you need more skills to do a $10,000 project rather than like a $100 project, you know? On average basis, sometimes, you know, there's always exceptions, but like 90% of the time this is true. So we use that kind of intelligence to rate and rank people who uses our platform, which makes the rating and ranking more efficient, which in turn which as an employer, you get the right skill set, and the top of the cream will easily rise above the rest of the noise, you know, in Upwork and Fiverr.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like you definitely have plenty of data points where you're actually now gathering it and grabbing that information from. And it sounds like between that, right, the fact that you're moving a middleman, the platform project has a lot of positive things going for it. But obviously not everything is sunshine and rainbows and unicorns. So I'd love to maybe get your take as well on, you know, what do you see as your organization's biggest threat?
Our biggest threat is adaptability, because blockchain is pretty brand new, and people are non-blockchain enthusiasts still thinks that the cryptocurrency is a scam. You know, like very educated people. Some of my friends, you know, I told them, hey, there is a good opportunity here. You have some money, right? Why don't you invest in it? They're like, no, I don't think it's too risky, and most of them are scam. So I think our biggest barrier will be the adaptability of blockchain as such, as like every other project. And I also think that so right now we need like a trigger, which kind of like a viral thing, which will make our brand a little bit known. So I'm actually searching for that trigger, to be honest, Matthew. So once we find that out, like, you know, that point or that strategy, then I don't think we will have any issues. But the adaptability is a big concern for me, because right now it's less than 1% of the whole world uses crypto, you know?
No, absolutely. It's a common problem with blockchain organizations, right? Because it is, you know, leading edge technology. Right? It is so new. You know, it is still kind of niche. We're seeing obviously a lot of POCs getting built by Fortune 1000, the Fortune 500 companies, but they're not implementing most of them yet, you know, other than IBM for the most part. So we'll definitely see more and more stuff here on adoption.
Yeah.
You know, coming up within this next year or two. But absolutely. Speaking of blockchain, I know we haven't discussed yet. What blockchain are you actually building on?
Okay, so we actually use two blockchains. One is our own blockchain, which makes our platform very fast, and we also use Ethereum. So ours is an ERC20 token, so we have to use Ethereum for the initial deposit. So once we get the deposit from using the Ethereum blockchain, we take that and put it into our blockchain, and then our blockchain is so faster than Ethereum because it's private. It's just, so when I say our own blockchain, it's not like a public blockchain. Like, it's a private one. So nobody can access our blockchain other than through Ethereum blockchain. So it's a little bit technology, but what the advantage of that is once the fund is in our platform, it's very fast. So you don't have to, even if there is some clogging in the Ethereum blockchain, nothing affects us inside our platform. So basically, to answer your question, we use two. One is the Ethereum blockchain, and once the fund is in our platform, we use our own blockchain. So, you know, we can avoid all this clogging And you don't have to go to Etherscan to look at the
No, absolutely. Yeah, right. If there's a whole bunch of crypto kittens getting birthed that day, that's not going to hold up your business.
Yeah, exactly.
No, absolutely. It's common, right? It's common for organizations that are running financial transactions to actually not use a public chain like Ethereum and Bitcoin, because in your instance, right, if they're coming in and they want to have that transfer of money, well, you need to make sure that is instant, right? That's like walking into a Starbucks and standing in front of the teller and sending them a Bitcoin, and then 2 days later coming back and getting your coffee. It doesn't work, right? So
actually, so that is actually a huge issue with Bitcoin right now, because the transaction is not that fast, and the transaction fee is kind of like insane. It's like $25.
Yeah. So if you need to make sure that your private chain you have has has a high transaction per second, to make sure that those financial transactions actually happen fast. It's
in our servers, so there is nobody can access it, and it's just like a technical design. We decided to circumvent for example, it happened because when we were developing the platform, I was testing it with Ethereum, and it took like 3 hours to get the money, from the blockchain. And I'm like, this can't work, People don't have that kind of patience, like you said. You don't come after 2 days to get your coffee.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Obviously, you're running an organization right now, right? There's a lot of different competing priorities. I'd love to maybe you can share some experiences on what you do to maybe prioritize your duties within your company.
Okay, so right now our token sale is over, so we are trying to build a platform of users in our project, in our platform. So that is the whole focus now. Try to get as many users onto our platform and get as much exposure as possible. So we have like a 3-prong approach. One is we have to rank organically on Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So we have a team working on that. And we have a different company, a marketing working with the social media and those strategies to get us out and known to the people. That is what we are doing. And then we have a PR firm who reaches out to media organizations and things like that, and get some exposure, like what I'm doing right now. So those are the focus right now. And in terms of lessons learned, what I would say is people recognize transparency, and people recognize hard work. And if you're sincere to your project, and people will feel that, and then they're very happy to invest in that kind of project. And not only that, people want something which kind of really revolutionized something. And I know that word is thrown out a lot, but I honestly think that our platform is kind of different in every way. We try to address all the pain points of all the customers as well as the users of our project. So that is my take.
No, I think it's important, right? Because I think I actually talk with a lot of entrepreneurs that are either in their ICO currently, or they're just wrapping up. So having someone like yourself that's gone through a token raise, right, and it's gone through the fundraising event, and now you're in the process, in the trenches, and building out that platform, right, grabbing your user adoption. I think those are some good points to make, right? To make sure you're transparent, with your with their participants in your token sale. Make sure you're providing them the updates, right? You're showing at this point you're actively pursuing, getting the platform out into the marketplace. Again, like all positive factors. And with that information, if our listeners want to learn more about Boon Tech, what's the best way for them to do that?
Okay. So we have a website. We have 2 apps, both on App Store as well as on Android. Our website is boon.tech. There is no com. It's boon.tech.
So it's BOON, right? As in Nancy.
Yes,
Tech. Okay.
Boon.tech, and the same name in the App Store. So if you are an employer or as a freelancer, please register with us. I don't think you have anything to lose because we don't take your money.
That's a great pitch right there. Nothing to lose. I don't take your money.
Yeah, seriously, what they got to lose, right? There's nothing to lose, only to win. So, yeah, and not only that, if you are a blockchain enthusiast, I think your support will be very well respected and appreciated, because I think we need blockchain enthusiasts to prop up the blockchain projects, so which has like a real-time use, There are so many blockchain projects which, you can just invest on, but this one, our project, actually you can use, so try it out.
Absolutely. So, listen, everybody, that's boon.tech, so boon.tech. Jump over there. Phil, if you're a freelancer, create your profile. If you're an employer looking to connect with freelancers, create your profile. Connect through the platform. Obviously, it sounds like, Raj can get access through their social media accounts and whatnot as well. But Raj, again, pleasure to have you on the show today. Appreciate your time. It sounds like you're quite busy in the trenches right now, kind of driving the growth of the organization. So, again, pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you very much, Matthew. I really appreciate it, and all the best.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for tuning in to the Crypto on the Block radio show with Matthew Loughran. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. Tune in next time.